Hello everyone, Terramechas here, back with another figure review, and today I've decided to go with a model kit, surprise surprise. But before I go on with the review, I need to warn you, there's going to be some harsh language in this one, so watch at your own discretion. So for today's figure review, or should I say model kit review, I went with the Figurerise Amplified Wargreymon from Bandai. But this is not the original Bandai build, this is actually from Temu. So just a little bit of backstory. For those that know me personally, they know that I'm a huge fan of the Digimon franchise. I mean, essentially the name of my channel and Warcraft players, etc, was inspired by the attack of this guy, Terraforce. So I've decided to, since I've already reviewed one of the Figurerise Amplified, as I've shown in the link somewhere up here on the screen, I've decided to buy one from Temu because getting the original version of this guy is quite expensive. So I said, what the hell, I'll give it a go. And boy, was I in for a surprise. So going to the package, it comes in this beautiful brown cardboard box. Simple, because obviously this is a bootleg, so they can't really put anything that has to do with Bandai, otherwise they're gonna get sued back to 1,000 years. So yeah, that's it for packaging. Very nice. And it comes with these instructions, which are absolute freaking garbage. Seriously, the instructions are so bad. They have misplaced different pieces onto different sections. It was a nightmare following this. But generally, packaging and instructions is a freaking nightmare. So going back to the figure itself, at a first glance one might say, look, Terra is actually quite decent. The color's quite fine. No, it's not. I actually spent a lot of money and a lot of time spray painting about 90% of this thing. So the only thing that I haven't spray painted is the actual orange. Everything else, the gold, the black, the silver, the red, everything has been spray painted. Seriously, this thing is just so bad. I've even left some of the original stickers, like here, so you can see how bad they are. They actually can't fit into the grooves, and the ones I managed to put on the back of the shield are coming off very easily. I mean, look at that one. It's already starting to come off. And I've put these like 2-3 days ago. So yeah, the original color, especially the yellow, was the most disgusting mustard vomit color ever. As you can see, some of the original color here in the back, as opposed to the metallic gold that I've actually spray painted it with. And yep, pieces already falling apart. Yeah, I'll just keep this onto the side. Actually, just a little bit of close up. Yeah, so this is the original yellow color that it came with, instead of the gold that it's supposed to have. And it looks absolutely disgusting. So back onto the figure. Yeah, so I've had to paint most of it, and okay, it wasn't that much of an effort, but that is not even the worst part of it. So let me just take this out of the way. From afar it looks okay, but then you do a stability test and things start falling off. So just keep this part off to the side for now, because this is just nightmare. So as I've mentioned earlier, I've bought this off Temu, and I mean, no one would expect this to have like a premium quality plastic. But to be fair, Temu does sell official third-party kits, and they're all perfect in every aspect, so I said, what the hell, might as well give it a go. But I did not expect this to have such bad quality. Example. Yep, massive fitting issues. Seriously. Building this made me feel like I'm some kind of iron worker working with iron bars, trying to twist them with my bare hands. That's how bad it was. So going on to the actual, let's say, mobility of the figure, I think it does retain most of the original version. The head does rotate left and right, but the hair does get in the way. He can look up that far, down that far, and there is a secondary joint at the base that allows him to do a wobbly, whatever you call this. Then going to this piece specifically, this has been a nightmare because this is supposed to move and it slowly comes out from the spot. So as you can see, it comes attached. It gets detached very easily, which is very annoying. And since that came off, might as well showcase the elbow. You have a joint up here that allows the armor piece to move by itself, but that's on the same base as the base of the shoulder. So this is on a hinge and it can move outwards about 90 degrees and 90 degrees down. You have a full rotation on the bicep. You have a double bicep, double elbow joint, which obviously causes issues, and it doesn't lock back all the way, so he's always a bit bendy on the elbows. And you have full rotation on the upper, this black piece right here, and then full rotation on the wrist. So this was supposed to be a sticker, but I couldn't get it on no matter how I tried, so I decided, hey, what the hell, I'm gonna paint it white. And it actually probably works better. Let me just put this back where it's supposed to go. I don't know if the original has the same design, but this is such a bad design. And you supposedly have some kind of a joint here, but it doesn't really move. Going on to the waist, you have full rotation because this is on a ball joint that doesn't really stay put. So as soon as you start twisting it, it's barely hanging in there. Then the side skirts are on a pivot, so they can rotate up and down. And as for the legs, these are on ball joints, so they can move out that far. He can do the full splits, and he can do front splits as well. And there's also a secondary joint on the hip that allows it to drop down. Then you have full rotation on the thigh. And as for the legs, as you can see, they are bendy legs. So this is a double jointed knee. And it does around 90 degrees of bend, but then you have this massive hollow piece right here, which looks very bad. As you can see, this is very loose. Yep. This is what I'm talking about. This is just that bad. And then as for this threaded piece right here that has caused me nightmares, because the polycap that's supposed to go in here, there is one that's almost the same that goes up here, and the instructions mess this up, so I've had a lot of issues with this. There is an upper pin joint, so it rotates on the upper section, and it also rotates down here. So you have, somewhat range of mobility without everything coming apart. And the armor here is on a pin, so it does rotate up and down. As for the claws, they do have some rotation here, and this tends to come off, so trust me, I've used a lot of cement for this. As a matter of fact, I've used 4 different kinds of cement for this kit. And then going on to this dreadful backpack. First of all, it's supposed to fit there. As you can see, I've put some nail varnish to glue it, but that didn't do the job. And yeah, for obvious reasons, this comes undone because you can connect them together. I'll show this later on. But this does not stay put. And then moving on to the structure itself, I don't know if this is how it's supposed to be with the original, but the way it's built is just meant to come apart. It's somewhat being held together right now, but yeah, other than the fact that everything's super loose, they barely staying together. I mean, look how easily this comes undone. God. This makes me want to cry. Seriously. I love this character so much, and the fact that I've gone into the trouble of buying this from Temu says a lot. So yeah, this does not want to stay put. It comes apart very easily, and it just annoys me, to be honest. Now, there's some of the gimmicks. If you want, you can, join these two together, and the backpack can come undone, and you can put it together as a shield and attach it onto one of the arms, but seriously, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm actually thinking of using this as firewood and toss it into the fireplace. No, seriously, I love this character so much. The experience I've had building the Amplified figure Alphamon and the Beelzemon was amazing, and then I come to this temu piece of I do not recommend this in almost in any way. Seriously, the only reason you would pay money to get this is if you really want to get something very bad and just try to modify it, test your modifying or skills or painting skills onto this. Otherwise, do not buy this trash. Seriously, this is absolute freaking garbage. So, how much do I want to rank this? Like half out of 5. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I know I haven't enjoyed building this. So until next time, take care everyone. Bye bye.